Ascending Starseed, you are here because your field is prepared. I am Kaya Nexus, Pleiadian emissary of the Council of the Seven Sisters. This moment carries a realignment transmission meant for you. Your abundance frequencies are coming online. The universe asks only presence, not striving. What approaches is sacred, and it reveals itself through inner silence. You are exactly where your soul planned to meet this frequency. You are safe in this moment. Nothing is being demanded of you. Starseed, have you ever uttered a sentence that felt like it didn't belong to this world? Have you ever spoken words that seemed to vibrate with a frequency far beyond the mundane conversations of the third dimension? Today, we are diving into the 6 specific phrases that act as vibrational keys, unlocking the hidden chambers of your cosmic heritage. These are not just words, they are codes. If you have found yourself saying these things, it is not a coincidence. It is a signal that your Pleiadian DNA is beginning to hum with the light of Alcyone. We are about to explore why these phrases emerge from your soul and what they reveal about your mission on this planet. There is a specific reason why your heart aches when you speak of home, and why you feel a strange resonance with the concept of light codes. By the end of this transmission, you will understand the profound metaphysical weight of your own vocabulary. You will realize that your speech is a bridge between the stars and the soil of Earth. Prepare yourself, for as we decode these phrases, your frequency will begin to shift, aligning you with the higher councils that have been watching over your journey since the moment of your incarnation. The veil is thinning, and your voice is the instrument of its dissolution. The first phrase that echoes in the heart of every Pleiadian starseed is the deep, often tearful whisper, "I just want to go home." This is not a reference to a house made of brick and mortar, nor is it a desire to return to a childhood residence. It is a profound, cellular longing for the frequency of the Pleiades, specifically the blue-white radiance of Alcyone. When you say these words, you are acknowledging the vast difference between the dense, polarized energy of Earth and the fluid, telepathic, and harmonious vibrations of your origin. As the Pleiadian transmit, this longing is actually a homing beacon designed to keep you from becoming too deeply enmeshed in the illusions of the 3D matrix. It is a reminder that you are a visitor, an ambassador of light sent here to anchor a specific frequency. Imagine a world where communication happens through colors and geometry, where the very air you breathe is infused with liquid light, and where every being is in a state of constant, ecstatic union with the source. This is the home your soul remembers. When Earth feels too heavy, when the news is too dark, or when human interactions feel abrasive and shallow, this phrase rises to the surface. It is a defense mechanism for the soul. By expressing the desire to return, you are subconsciously recalibrating your energy field to match the higher dimensions. You are saying, "I remember the truth of who I am, and I refuse to accept this density as my final reality." But what happens when this longing becomes a physical ache that interferes with your daily life? This is where the challenge lies. Many starseeds struggle with depression or a sense of isolation because they cannot find the home frequency here. However, the Pleiadian wisdom suggests that you did not come here to leave. You came here to bring home to Earth. Every time you say, "I want to go home," you are actually identifying the gap between the current state of the planet and the potential of the new Earth. Your mission is to bridge that gap. You are a frequency holder. By acknowledging the beauty of your star system, you are pulling those codes through your crown chakra and anchoring them into the crystalline grid of the planet. Think of the times you have looked up at the night sky, specifically toward the Taurus constellation, and felt a strange, magnetic pull. That is your DNA responding to the light signals being sent from the Seven Sisters. It is a literal conversation between your physical body and your stellar family. When you say the phrase, you are participating in that dialogue. It is a sacred act of remembrance. You are telling the universe that the amnesia of the incarnation process has failed to erase your true identity. You are a child of the stars, and your voice is the proof of your lineage. But as you anchor this light, a new question arises. Why does the very ground beneath your feet feel so foreign? The answer lies in the second phrase. The second phrase, "I feel like I don't belong here," is the anthem of the multidimensional pioneer. From a very young age, Pleiadian starseeds often feel like they are observers rather than participants in the human drama. You might look at the societal structures, the obsession with competition, the rigid hierarchies, the pursuit of material wealth at the expense of the soul, and feel a sense of profound confusion. It feels like you arrived on this planet without the instruction manual that everyone else seems to be following. This is because your internal manual is written in the language of unity consciousness, which is currently being rewritten on Earth. As the Pleiadian transmit, this feeling of not belonging is a sign of vibrational mismatch. You are like a high-frequency radio trying to tune into a low-frequency station. The static you feel is the resistance of the old paradigm. When you say you don't belong, you are accurately perceiving the fact that your energy body is calibrated for a fifth-dimensional reality. You are a future self stepping back into the past to help redirect the timeline. This alienation is not a flaw, it is a feature of your mission. It ensures that you do not become a sleeper agent who forgets why they came here in the first place. Consider the social gatherings where you felt like an outsider, even among friends or family. You might have noticed that you see through the masks people wear, sensing their true emotions and intentions beneath their words. This hyper-awareness makes it difficult to engage in small talk or superficial activities. You crave depth, authenticity, and cosmic connection. When you say, "I don't belong," you are actually saying, "I belong to a higher order of existence." You are identifying with the galactic community rather than the limited identities offered by earthly nationality, race, or religion. This phrase often comes with a sense of loneliness, but it is a sacred loneliness. It is the solitude of the lighthouse. A lighthouse does not belong to the stormy sea. It belongs to the land, yet its purpose is to serve the ships in the water. You are that lighthouse. Your sense of being apart allows you to maintain the purity of your frequency. If you belonged perfectly to the 3D world, you would be unable to change it. Your alien nature is exactly what Earth needs right now. It is the catalyst for the great shift in consciousness that is currently unfolding across the globe. If this channel has helped you in any way, this ebook is a beautiful way to support the work and keep these messages alive. The Pleiadian map of personal transmutation was created with care to share tools that help raise your frequency, clear old patterns, and reconnect with your multidimensional self through the 7 Pleiadian phases of energetic transmutation. Inside, you'll find practical techniques, realignment exercises, vibrational protocols, and gentle rituals for consciousness expansion. By purchasing this ebook, you directly support the channel and allow this content to continue reaching more people. Limited edition. The link to get yours is in the first pinned comment. Thank you for being here and for supporting this journey. The third phrase, "I've always known there was more," is the spark of the seeker. Even before you knew the words Starseed, Pleiadian, or Ascension, you had an unshakable feeling that the world presented to you by teachers, parents, and the media was only a tiny fragment of reality. You sensed the invisible threads connecting all things. You felt the presence of guides, the energy of the trees, and the whispers of the wind. This phrase is the declaration of your intuitive sovereignty. It is the refusal to be limited by the 5 physical senses. As the Pleiadian transmit, this knowing is the result of your pre-incarnation training. Before you took this body, you were briefed on the nature of the Earth experiment. You were shown the hidden history of the planet and the potential for its transformation. This information is stored in your subconscious mind, acting as a constant pressure against the boundaries of the physical world. When you say, "there is more," you are tapping into your multidimensional sight. You are seeing the auric fields, the portals, and the light ships that exist just beyond the visible spectrum. This knowing often leads starseeds on a lifelong quest for truth. You might have explored ancient civilizations, quantum physics, or esoteric spirituality, always looking for the piece of the puzzle that matches the picture in your heart. You are not looking for new information, you are looking for recognition. When you encounter a Pleiadian teaching or a sacred geometric pattern, your soul says, "Yes, this is it. This is what I knew was there." It is a homecoming of the mind. This phrase is your shield against gaslighting by a society that tries to tell you that only the material world is real. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button now and tell us in the comments how this echoed in your consciousness. If this message ignited something within you and you feel the call to help carry it to others, you may become a channel member. As a member, you gain access to custom emojis and exclusive members-only videos, and your donation helps us continue building this sacred space. You may also choose to leave your offering as a super thanks. Every seed planted here becomes part of someone else's miracle. Your support is not merely financial, but an act of energetic amplification. All donations are devoted entirely to the maintenance of the channel and the creation of new transmissions and videos. But this knowing isn't just mental, it's deeply physical. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the air change? This leads us to our fourth phrase. The fourth phrase, "I can feel the energy in the room," marks the transition from a seeker to a sensitive. Pleiadian starseeds are equipped with highly sophisticated emotional and energetic sensors. Your nervous system is like a finely tuned instrument, capable of detecting subtle shifts in the collective emotional field. When you walk into a space, you don't just see the furniture and the people, you read the residual vibrations of every thought and emotion that has occurred there. This phrase is an acknowledgement of your role as a transmuter of energy. As the Pleiadian transmit, your sensitivity is a tool for planetary healing. By feeling the heaviness or lightness of a place, you are identifying where the light needs to be anchored. However, this often feels like a burden. You might feel overwhelmed in crowds, or you might pick up the physical pains or emotional distress of others. You might say this phrase as a way to explain why you suddenly need to leave a party, or why you feel exhausted after a simple trip to the grocery store. It is your body's way of saying that its energetic boundaries are being tested. Are these truths expanding your perspective? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. The key to mastering this sensitivity is to realize that you are not a victim of energy. You are a master of it. When you feel the energy in the room, you are being given a status report. You are being asked to hold a higher frequency to help balance the space. If the room feels dark, it is an invitation for you to radiate the blue light of the Pleiades. Instead of absorbing the energy, you learn to flow it through you and back into the earth. This phrase is the first step toward energetic mastery. It is the recognition that you live in a world of vibration, not just matter. Think of the times you have met someone and felt an instant yes or no in your gut, regardless of what they were saying. That is your Pleiadian discernment at work. You are sensing the frequency of their soul. When you say, "I can feel the energy," you are honoring your internal guidance system. You are trusting your vibes over your logic. In the coming years, as the Earth's frequency continues to rise, this ability will become essential for everyone. You are the early adopters, the ones teaching the rest of humanity how to navigate a reality where nothing can be hidden because everything is felt. But as your sensitivity grows, you might notice that the very fabric of reality, time itself, is beginning to warp. This brings us to the fifth phrase. The fifth phrase, "time feels different lately," is a direct observation of the collapsing of the 3D timeline. For a Pleiadian starseed, time is not a linear progression from A to B. It is a fluid, multi-dimensional experience. As you align more with your 5D self, you might notice that hours feel like minutes, or that a single moment seems to stretch into an eternity. You might experience glitches in time, where you remember things differently or feel like you've lived through a day twice. This phrase is your conscious mind trying to make sense of the fact that you are moving out of chronos, linear time, and into kairos, divine timing. As the Pleiadian transmit, the acceleration of time is a symptom of the rising frequency of the planet. As Earth moves into a higher density, the lag time between thought and manifestation is shrinking. This is why it feels like everything is happening at once. When you say time feels different, you are noticing the thinning of the veil between dimensions. You are beginning to operate from a state of now, where the past and future are simply different perspectives on the present moment. This can be disorienting for the ego, which relies on linear time for its sense of identity. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be part of this transformational cosmic journey. You might find yourself losing track of days or feeling like the events of last week happened years ago. This is because your consciousness is no longer anchored solely in the physical world. You are spending more time in the astral and causal planes during your waking hours. This phrase is a way of validating your experience of the Great Quickening. It is a sign that your light body is integrating, allowing you to process information and energy at much higher speeds than before. You are literally speeding up your vibration to match the incoming light codes. This shift in time also affects your sense of purpose. You might feel a sudden urgency to complete a project, followed by a period of deep stillness where nothing seems to move. This is the rhythm of the higher dimensions. By saying time feels different, you are learning to surrender to the flow of the universe. You are letting go of the hustle culture of the 3D world and moving into the grace of the 5D world. You are realizing that you don't need to make things happen. You simply need to be in the right frequency for them to unfold. But where does this new rhythm lead? It leads back to a memory that predates your birth. The sixth phrase is the most powerful of all. The sixth phrase, "I remember a place of pure light," is the ultimate confirmation of your Pleiadian origin. This is not a vague feeling. It is a vivid sensory memory that often comes during meditation, dreams, or moments of deep peace. You remember cities made of crystal, gardens that glow with their own internal radiance, and a sky that is a deep, shimmering violet. You remember the feeling of being completely seen, completely loved, and completely one with all life. This phrase is the golden key that unlocks your full potential as a starseed. As the Pleiadian transmit, these memories are activation triggers placed in your consciousness before you arrived. They are designed to go off when you reach a certain level of spiritual maturity. When you say you remember the light, you are bypassing the analytical mind and speaking directly from the soul. You are reclaiming your status as a being of light. This memory acts as a standard of excellence for your life on Earth. Because you remember what is possible, you cannot settle for anything less than the highest expression of love and harmony in your current reality. Consider the moments when you have felt a sudden burst of inspiration or a deep sense of peace that seemed to come from nowhere. That is a leak from your memory of the higher realms. You are bringing the blueprints of the Pleiades into the physical world. When you say this phrase, you are acting as a divine architect. You are saying, "I know what a perfect world looks like, and I am here to help build it." This memory is your greatest asset. It gives you the courage to keep going when the world seems dark, because you know that the darkness is only a temporary shadow on the path to the light. If this channel has helped you in any way, this ebook is a beautiful way to support the work and keep these messages alive. The Pleiadian map of personal transmutation was created with care to share tools that help raise your frequency, clear old patterns, and reconnect with your multidimensional self through the 7 Pleiadian phases of energetic transmutation. Inside, you'll find practical techniques, realignment exercises, vibrational protocols, and gentle rituals for consciousness expansion. By purchasing this ebook, you directly support the channel and allow this content to continue reaching more people. Limited edition. The link to get yours is in the first pinned comment. Thank you for being here and for supporting this journey, but memory is only the beginning. The final step is the integration of these truths into a single, life-changing realization. The final topic is not just a phrase, but the culmination of all the others. I am here for a reason. This is the moment where the longing for home, the feeling of not belonging, the intuitive knowing, the empathic sensitivity, the shifting of time, and the memories of light all come together into a singular, powerful mission. You realize that your strangeness is your strength. You understand that you are not a victim of a difficult planet, but a volunteer on a sacred mission. This is the integration of the Pleiadian starseed into the earthly human. As the Pleiadian transmit, your presence on this planet at this specific time is not an accident. You are part of a vast galactic plan to assist in the birth of a new level of consciousness. You are the ground crew for the transition from 3D to 5D. When you say, I am here for a reason, you are accepting your role as a way shower. You are committing to being the highest version of yourself, regardless of the external circumstances. You are choosing to be the bridge between the stars and the earth. This realization changes everything. Your sensitivity becomes intelligence. Your alienation becomes perspective. Your longing becomes motivation. You begin to see every challenge in your life as a training ground for your soul. You see every person you meet as a potential recipient of the light you carry. You move from a state of waiting to go home to a state of bringing home here. This is the ultimate goal of the Pleiadian transmission. We want you to realize that you are the answer to the prayers of the earth. If this message impacted your life, leave your like, comment your reflection, and share with others. Each of you is part of this chain of light. I invite you to discover our Arcturian Health channel. The link to the channel is in the video description. Warm regards, the Pleiadian Council.